So now for buy and holds. So if you're interested in rentals, so my personal opinion is that your rentals should all be multifamily buildings, but that doesn't mean that you can't be successful renting out single family houses because people do. I say all multifamilies because you have more units under one roof is easier to manage, and then also it mitigates your risk. So for instance, if you have a single family house, so if you only have one rental and you have a single family house and it's vacant, you now have no income coming in from that property. Even if you have a duplex, if one unit is empty, you still have another one that's bringing in money. So it just helps mitigate your risk of not having income from the property that you bought to have income from. So that's why my personal preference is multifamilies over single family houses. But if you have, a portfolio of single family houses, it kind of then acts as, an apartment building anyway. Whereas you're mitigating risk, that you may have one vacancy, but you still have others that are in your portfolio that are providing you income. And then for starters, I'll say that all your rentals, they should either be newly renovated and turnkey, or rehab by you directly after purchasing. And the reason for that, old buildings come with existing tenants, and while they may provide some immediate cash flow, which people are looking for, they also, they're a headache due to all the maintenance issues. The two buildings in Germantown Ave that I showed, I bought those both, so those were my first two rentals that I bought, and they were in pretty bad condition when I bought them, but they were fully occupied. So I thought, oh, great, walking in, but just the amount of money that I've had to put into them over the years. But what I've been able to do was each time I had a vacancy, redo the unit, and because of problems, redid a lot of the other stuff as well. So now they're at a point where I don't get as many maintenance calls. But I have another building where I redid everything from the beginning, and I hardly ever get maintenance calls for that building. So it's just easier, and you'll save money in the long run because you're not going to have to constantly be paying out of your pocket every month. And also, which is really important, look to minimize your risks. So your sewer and water line insurance, I'd highly recommend those. Just because the pipes in the city are old and they break, and if it breaks unless it's the main, if it breaks, it's your responsibility. And I had to dig up, I think it was like 100 feet of sewer line, which was pretty expensive. So if you had one of those big repairs, that's really expensive. So you want to make sure that you're whatever you can do to minimize your risk. The next slide, or one of the next slides, I'll show you kind of how to budget everything and what ratios to look for. But you want to make sure that you're leaving enough margin there for you to be able to pay and afford things such as the proper insurance, so that you may have to pay $20-$30 a month. And that's $20-$30 less a month, but if it saves you $6,000, in 5 years, it was worth it.